From Oompa Loompa fake tans to family rows, Sun Riders revealed their biggest regrets. Whether big or small, everyone has regrets. When broadcaster Emma Freud asked her Twitter followers to share their stories, she received hundreds of replies, including "not staying with my mum to the very end." Another said theirs was not flying to New York with Lionel Richie. Here, Amy Jones asks some of our favorite Sun Riders to recall their biggest regrets. Fashion disasters are a part of growing up. But there is one look that I can't shrug and laugh off like I do the rest of them. I remember being so excited for my first spray tan on my 16th birthday that I refused to shower properly to tone down the mahogany hue. Instead, I left the glowing Oompa Loompa shade alone, highlighted by my turquoise dress and matching eyeshadow. My fashspiration came from a Coronation Street character that should have said it all. And then there's my highlighted mullet on top. No one has let me live it down. So much so that a few years later my friend printed the pictures of me and pinned them up next to an orange peel. Actually, I take it back. This is not my biggest regret. That accolade now goes to this very moment, when every Sun reader gets to share my embarrassment. I am so sorry, Janet. I am still filled with horror when I look back. I was maybe 10, and you were about 6 months younger. We were at Brownie Camp. This is the 1950s, so it was pretty basic, and my mate Christine and I thought you were a boring goody-goody, so we resented being made to share a tent with you. You didn't get our jokes the first night, didn't want to join in all our whispering chatter, which got us told off, so the second night we whispered jokes about you. I don't remember what we said, but the third night, when it came to lights out, you were nowhere to be found. Someone found you hiding behind nearby bushes, but I felt hugely guilty and still feel remorseful now. I'd been a bully. Brown Owl made Christine and me apologize, and it was a lesson learned. Still gives me a pang though. My cousin Roger was the brother I never had. We played ping pong together, we set up a youth club together, we created a charity for disabled people together, and I cast him as the dame in a pantomime I wrote. But we both had 2 left feet. Which is why, I suppose, our mothers decided to give us ballroom dancing lessons. I mastered the waltz, the heel lead, the rise and fall, but I faltered at the foxtrot, and we certainly never reached the exotic heights of the Latin American routines. Roger and I pleaded with our mothers, and were given permission to give up. Heavens, did I regret that when, nearly 60 years later, I was invited to appear on Strictly. The first week I was given a waltz to learn, and to my relief I still remembered the heel lead, and managed quite a good rise and fall. But on week 2 my rumba was embarrassing, and by the 3rd week my tango was such a disaster, darling, that my departure was a relief for everyone, especially my long-suffering dance partner Anton Dubik. If only Roger and I had persevered. Who knows, I might have got my hands on a prized glitter ball trophy. I regret keeping my anxiety a secret from myself. I have suffered silently with anxiety for years. Even after being diagnosed with it in 2014, I pretended it wasn't happening. This year I began to accept it for the first time, and my life is much better, but I now realize the effect it had on me. I wasn't myself at school, convinced that people would hate me. I didn't put myself forward when opportunities popped up because I was terrified that I'd be laughed at. I lost so many friends because replying to texts scared me. I'd have to turn round nearly every time I left the house just to triple check that I'd turned my hair straighteners off. Admitting to myself and others I was scared changed everything, and I have become braver. By suffering in silence I wasted my youth, and a lot of petrol, going back to check the hair straighteners. I deeply regret that I didn't have more children. I never really felt maternal until I became pregnant at the age of 34. My daughter Rosie was born in 1994, and I was overwhelmed with unconditional love. I was lucky that by the time she arrived I was established in my career, and breakfast TV is the perfect job for a working mom or dad. I had a miscarriage when Rosie was 5 years old, which was devastating. I was really helped by kind letters and cards from viewers and readers. I always felt lucky to have a happy, healthy daughter, so never went down the road of IVF or seeking fertility advice. I just never fell pregnant again. It's not something I dwell on, but it would have been lovely for Rosie to have had a little brother or sister. In 1995 I was sharing a flat in New York with an American estate agent, which is how I came to learn of an